looks awesome. I mean, in a perfect world, having a spare bottle is obviously not.
Yes.
Particularly because it's not always convenient for you to get there. Look at that little goby. He's cool.
Yeah, it's a bumblebee goby.
Yeah, but he's a funny looking bumblebee goby. He's got like really cool pattern. It's like almost like a spotty bumblebee. Wow, this is such a cool tank, isn't it? Like you would never get sick of watching this.
So there's about 20 green neon captures in there, and then there's about 10 celestial peldanios, and then there's a couple of those little pygmy cories, and then just a couple of those.
And you couldn't even count the shrimp.
No, the shrimp have just gone out of control, like absolutely out of control.
What a great tank! And you wouldn't have to feed fuck all, would you?
No, exactly.
Do you feed like what do you feed?
I've got a mixture of. Well, it's interesting to hear you talk about the different types, and I'm guessing that's probably not a great one.
Yeah, see, that's heavily processed food. And
I've got some Danichi as well.
Yeah, so the difference between that and that
I really appreciate the difference.
Is extraordinary. This is just processed crap in a thing to basically return money. No, you don't win any friends by writing off people's products on camera. Yeah. You're better off. Yeah. But no, but you can say good things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because see this one here, number one is it's not totally digestible.
Yeah.
Which actually is a big thing because fish in the wild, all the foods they eat are not totally digestible.
Yeah. Okay.
So it means that the digestive system gets to work entirely.
Yeah.
Whereas with a fully digestible food,
so this is just like
sometimes
eating
2-minute noodles.
Twisties, 2-minute noodles.
2-minute noodles. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's a good reminder.
Yeah. So it's hot. So a lot of foods are like basically the food is basically how can we make a really cool packet, and how do we put on the instructions what people want to see.
Yeah.
But then they pressure cook it and process it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing coming out the other end.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas with the Danichi, it's not pressure cooked. It's not processed. It's all raw state. And the other thing with a lot of your processed foods is they're completely digestible.
Yeah.
And for a fish that has a long digestive system, quite often, all the digesting is done at the start of the digestive system. So at the end of the digestive system isn't really getting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice. Okay.
So you want a food that's going to travel right through the digestive system.
Yeah.
This is such a cool tank.
The celestial peldanios are pretty shy, but they are stunning. The colours are just amazing. They've got such a rich orange.
I think you're telling stories.
No, they're there, and it's interesting.
Oh yeah, I did see one. Yep, one just nipped around there.
They love coming out in the evening. This is their time. This is their time of day.
Yeah, they don't like me.
Here you go. If you come around here,
yep,
you might just get glimpses of them in there. That's sort of where they are.
What about this tank?
This is a forest. How often do you trim it?
Oh, look, it's once a fortnight, but it's interesting since I've had the CO2 out, it's slowed it up a good bit.
Yeah, the CO2 makes so much difference, doesn't it?
Oh, there you go. Oh, it's just one. Just watch for a bit longer. Just they'll come out.
Yeah, the neons are starting to surface.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're looking for a certain fish, James.
Yeah,
But I think he's telling stories. I think he doesn't even have any.
I do. And the males in particular, the male celestials, their bellies have got that really rich
Galaxy Raspora.
It's
funny at the shop, if you put them at the shop as celestials, which they are, they don't sell.
Oh, right.
And then you put them as galaxies and they sell straight away.
Hotcakes.
Yeah. You change the name and they sell straight away.
what are you doing? Do you have like a... What are you doing?
How much time you reckon a week you put into this?
Oh, look, it's funny because only 2 weekends ago, I was saying to my wife, I think I've got to get Majestic down here and start picking up some of the workload of this because it's just too much.
Yep.
Is that
But yeah, since the CO2 stopped, it's definitely slowed up. So I reckon I was doing, certainly somewhere between 2 to 4 hours a week.
Right, okay. That's very committed. But mind you, you've got so many plants.
Well, maybe okay. Look, maybe not 2 to 4. I don't know. Look, at least just I mean, I'm every day I'm in there. Like I'm
Trimming.
with it. I'm trimming it. You know, going. Oh, there's a bit of this. I better pull that out. And you know, yeah. There you go. You see
Yeah,
that?
I got him. Yeah. Yeah, because the trimming. If you're more brutal with your trimming, then
Well,
the maintenance is easier. If you're really fine
so
with your
this was a
trimming.
really brutal trim, and it's coming up really nicely.
Yeah.
But it was the first time I was really, because I was so frustrated with it. I was like, this is too much. I've just got so much on. I can't deal with this.
Yep.
I did a brutal trim, and funnily enough, it's looking really good now.
Yeah, it does help because
Yeah.
it thins out the.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it allows the light and water flow to penetrate much better. So, like, one thing you can do to lower your maintenance with these tanks is just be more brutal with your trimming.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, because some people are so anal with their trimming, you know, they trim a tiny bit off every week.
Yeah.
I guess it's like getting a haircut.
Yeah.
If you go and trim every little hair,
Yeah. It's going
or
to
you
take
just,
off.
you know, the razor,
And
haircut done.
what was happening was I was getting like halfway through a trim, and I'd be like, I've run out of time, and so I'll finish it off, in when I've got a moment, and then a week would go by, and then I'd get to the other half, and then in a week's time I had to do the first half again. So
Yeah, of course.
It was just constant, you know.
To put air into it, then you've got to do that to clear it.
Yeah, so if you are more brutal with it,
Stuff out.
you don't have to do it as often.
Yeah.
And also it really opens up the... But I mean, it looks unreal like this. I mean, this looks...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with it. It's you know, and it's been some it's been a really good.
These are the tanks where you really notice the starfire.
The what? Sorry.
The starfire glass.
Yes. Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like a lot of standard fish tanks, the standard tropical tanks, whatever, you don't really notice
Yep,
the
yep.
starfire.
Yeah.
But the intricacy of something like this one,
What?
you really get how good the starfire is.
Yeah. Yeah.
This must
Absolutely.
be. This must have been an expensive apartment. There's the bed.
And I picked this one up just on the cheap. That one on the left, and like it's it needs to be trimmed and stuff. But I mean, this is the. I don't put any work into that one. I do this one. This is the. This is where all the focus goes.
It's really awesome. And considering you're telling me, you can see that it isn't 100% because you haven't had the CO2 on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a pretty impressive tank.
Well,
I mean,
given
you
that
could
a
just
year
look
ago,
at this.
I mean, you dropped this off about it's probably about 14 months ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the faintest clue about how to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy I've managed to kind of.
Oh, you've done
There you
great.
go. Here comes a female.
Yeah, there's one.
That was another one. Yep.
Yep, I can see him now. I got him.
That's a window.
No, put the TV.
But I mean,
But I mean, I've had some setbacks. I don't know if you remember. I came into the shop a few months later, and I'd had a full CO2 bottle discharged.
Yeah, that's not so
Took out
fun.
like 40 fish.
yeah, that's not so
There you go.
fun.
That's one of the males. That little dark colour one thing's just came up for a
The
second.
walls.
With the
Yeah, Galaxy Raspberry are great.
I just realised this
But I mean, you could just look at this tank. You could just...
I just like it's. I mean,
boards at school.
you know, there you go. Yeah, I will. You know, all my work phone calls, I'm generally talking on the phone, but staring into the fish tank. You know.
You just couldn't get sick. Like, you just can't get sick of this.
Yeah.
And how low maintenance shrimp are, like, especially cherries and...
Just like
like, I keep them at home just in a fish bowl
yeah.
with a bunch of, like Java moss and Anubias and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Nothing, like, no filter, no nothing. They love it. They grow and breed and
Yeah.
they're just such good little animals. And so new to the Australian market.
It was interesting. I had when the white clouds from outside spawned. I put the 3 survivors. I kept them in here,
Yep.
and then I noticed all the baby shrimp disappeared.
Oh,
So I
really?
think the white clouds were getting stuck into the little shrimp.
So how big were the white clouds? Like full size?
Oh, they grew to be full size in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So full size white clouds were knocking off your shrimp.
I think they were. I mean, because when you think about it, those
It's
baby
possible.
shrimp are very small.
Yeah, of course.
I've noticed a few babies again, just in the past few days. But yeah, for a while there, they'd sort of I wasn't seeing them at all.
Yeah, white clouds certainly love eating their own babies, so I'm
Yeah,
sure they'd have
yeah,
no
yeah.
qualm in eating anyone else's. Unreal.
For you.